today. So I thought we would chat about 3 problem-solving hacks for creating your event agenda. So this is even if you've tried everything else and you feel like you need a miracle. So I know there's so many creators out there who have just this calling to host their own event, but they feel a little bit held back because they don't know what they would teach for that long. And so I wanted to pop in here and give you some hacks that I think will work really well to help you kind of get over that hump of worrying about what the agenda would be. Because I'll tell you right now, you know a whole lot more than you give yourself credit for. And all right. Let's try this with mics and headphones. How about that? Have you ever gone live and not had headphones on or a mic in front of you? All right, let's try this. Okay, so we are going to go after 3 problem-solving hacks to create your event agenda, even if you've tried everything else and you feel like you need a miracle. Yes, I'm going to record a Greenroom Central podcast episode live here with you. This is going to be fun. So a lot of people struggle. They're business owners, they're super successful, they have courses, they have a membership, they teach all the time, but they get really hung up when they go to want to host an event, especially like a multi-day event. And I think the hang up typically gets in the space of, gosh, what would I teach? How would I fill all that time? And then they kind of spiral into this place where they want to bring on all of their friends as guest presenters. And it becomes this just big, like talk fest, and no one's going to any level of depth because they don't have time. And that's no fun for your guests. They really want depth, and they want it with you because you're the person who speaks the way that they hear, and you're the one who teaches the way that they need to learn. And so I want to really help you get over that hump of, how would I fill the time? What would an agenda look like? And these are hacks. This is going to get you there fast if that's what you're looking for. And I've got 3 of them for you today, and we're going to move really fast through them so that you can get into action. All right, so pick one of these, like listen to all of them and then think about like, hey, does this one feel like this might be the right fit for me? Not each of them aren't going to be a fit for everyone. So hack number 1 is the Post-it note hack. And I call this like a brainstorming trick, really. I love to just grab a stack of Post-it notes and a Sharpie marker and a blank wall and stand up with a timer and just like write on the Post-it notes and stick them on the wall in any order. In fact, no order is best at this time. And when your timer goes off, maybe you give yourself 10 minutes. Then you stand in front of the wall and you kind of arrange them in the order that it feels like it makes the most sense to teach them. Does that make sense? So you really can get to a place pretty quickly where you're able to fill the time. And then you just kind of like assign some times to each of those and kind of feel if, figure out how much time you've gotten in a day and kind of look at all those Post-its that have time stamps on them. And, you block in your breaks and your lunch, and you're ready to rock and roll. So that's hack number 1. That's the Post-it note hack. All right, so the second hack that I have for you is the name each day of the event hack. So this hack really is about creating a mini framework. And people love frameworks. They love them because they help them organize their thoughts and help them get it helps them understand where you're going within the event and where they're at and in that kind of framework and so where they know kind of a little bit about what's next and how far they're going to go. And it really helps for organizing, like in note taking, and people just love to have a sense of like place and perspective, and a framework accomplishes that. So let's say you have a 3-day event, and for example, maybe I'll use Live Event again, Academy as an example. Day 1 would be picture it, day 2 would be plan it, and day 3 would be produce it. Those are the 3 highest levels of the framework that we use within Live Event Academy, which is the world class event framework. And then there's kind of like subtopics under each of those buckets, if you will. But then we kind of have a name for each of those days. And I bet that you have a framework already in your business. And could you go to kind of like the top level of that framework and name each day? And then that would help kind of with your brainstorming in terms of like what would fall on that day 1, what would fall on that day 2, what makes sense then on day 3. So that's my hack number 2, which is the name the day of the event hack. Let's move on to hack number 3. So I call this the course hack. And sometimes it's just easiest if you take your flagship course and you turn it into a live event. And hold up before you say, wait, Sarah, I sell that thing for a premium price. I don't want to just give it all away in an event setting. And I will tell you straight away, you will not be giving away all of your trade secrets if you choose to teach your event as if it's like your course. So hold on, have an open mind for this one. So the course hack, you would take one of your courses and then you would make each block on the agenda one of the modules from your course. And so again, 3-day event. In this scenario, what I'd love for you to do is like start with placing in the breaks and the lunches, and when you want to stop for the day, if there's any other kind of like blocks for your offer, and so kind of like mark off all of the time that isn't available. And then you'll probably find that you've got these nice little chunks of like an hour here, an hour and a half here. And then you just kind of like number them, circle, kind of like put a box around them and put a number in each one. And I bet you will get pretty close to the number of modules in your flagship course. And then what you'll do is you'll teach the exact same way that you would have in your course, except you're doing this live. And because it's live, you're going to teach a whole lot less. And of course, you're not going to be giving out all of the tools and the checklists and the guides and all of the deep dive stuff that kinds of goes around it. You're going to be teaching at that very highest level because you need time in there to be asking rhetorical questions of the audience, to be asking them, hey, are you tracking with me? Do you have this? Like, I want you to be writing these 3 things down in your notebook right now. You're going to be wanting to leave time for them to, like turn to your neighbor and tell me like, what was your biggest takeaway, or what do you need help with? Let's get into a small group and take 15 minutes and each person share what they've learned, what they need help with. And so all of that takes up time. And I think you can see here how if you used that course framework to plan out your event agenda, you will not be giving away all of your material, your best material for free. But it becomes this really amazing live experience, live embodiment of your flagship course. So I hope that helps you. I hope that those 3 hacks at least got the juices flowing for how you could, as the expert, as the thought leader, like hold space on a stage for more than just, an hour-long webinar. You have it inside of you to spend a day, a full 2 days, a full 3 or 4 days on stage with no other guest speakers, just you. I promise you that you have it in you. And I hope that these 3 hacks that I gave you for brainstorming what an agenda could look like for a multi-day event scenario like that, I hope these 3 hacks helped you like have a little peek into what that could look like for you and got you a little bit more excited about putting an event like that on your calendar to host for your community, because gosh knows they would love to see you putting something out there to gather them together live, because they want to learn new content from you. They want to gather in community with you, and they want to feel more connected to you. And this is going to be the way to make that happen. All right. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Green Room Central. I hope it was super helpful for you. And look for me to go live and do another one of these very soon. I'm having fun now. I think I've figured out how to go live in all of the places, and then be able to film these episodes of the Green Room Central podcast live with you, so you'll be able to get access sooner than everyone who's on the podcast platforms. All right, take care.